Amen.
So let me ask, can y'all hear me? Okay, thank you, Gina. Okay, now I'm about to mute myself and then I'm about to put on the audio feed from the courtroom. Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Don't throw your phone against the wall, Frank. Okay, I was trying to create a different browser, the audio separate, but I can't get the audio work right. I'm about to take us back. Question. Oh, I'll back on the part back to the court. I know I'm breaking up.
So that would have been the call that was determined to come from Mr. Palmer's phone to 911.
Yes.
And you're going to move to now to Exhibit 253, which will, for clarification purposes, is technically a 911 callback to Mr. Palmer's phone.
Any objection, Ms. Bosowski?
I have no objection.
Exhibit 253 is admitted and may be published, played in its entirety to the jury.
So guys, just so everybody's aware in the trial. So they are waiting for everyone to come to the courtroom so they can answer the jury's question. In regards to the Jordan Palmer trial, if you're in that room, just be aware I will rewind back so we don't miss any testimony. Okay. So I'll rewind back so we don't miss any testimony in regards to that part, in regards to this Jordan Palmer trial. But I don't want y'all to miss the jury question, right? So that'll just give us a little TiVo time on this side. Ali, I am going to stop your current share and I am going to put you into so y'all can see the jury question also. Okay. So I was trying to work out this microphone issue. I was trying to open up a different browser and use my Firefox, but I can't get the I'm unable to get the feed to come through the way I want it to come through. So I will work on that tonight, since it seemed like we in all types of courtrooms all the time, right? Because I be wanting to talk and I can't talk because I'm chopping up unless I stop everybody from doing what they're doing.
This defendant said, I was just attacked, said he started swinging at me, meaning the victim, Stephen Campbell. And when he was asked, do you need medical attention? Do we need medical on scene? He said, abso-blanking-lutely.
A lot of swear words.
A lot of swear words. That's why we had to drop a lot of that audio. And here's something that stood out to me, Ted. He was asked to render aid, to turn the victim over. And he said, I don't want to touch someone who just and it sounded like he could have said stabbed me, but he said a word that was really unintelligible. But he said, I don't want to touch someone who just blanked me. So what he said,
and not only
important.
someone, I don't want to touch a blankety blank guy who just tried to. I mean, he was, every second word was a swear word. So that the jury's now dissecting, and then they played the audio of him talking to his mother, and his mother said, were you scared? Is that why this happened? And he said, sort of.
So his own words, but we anticipate there's a possibility he will take the stand. Let's pick it up where we left off inside of that courtroom.
Officers, you understand, even though we took that break, you're still under oath, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, before Ms. Brasovsky begins her cross-examination, Ms. Rafferty had told me that you were curious about what happened with your fellow juror, Mr. Schroeder. I excused Mr. Schroeder because there was a family medical emergency out of state. And so I excused him so he could travel back to Wisconsin to be with his father. So we now have 12 jurors and one alternate for the rest of the trial. Ms. Brasovsky, you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Good morning, Detective Cervantes.
Good morning.
I would just start with talking to you about the two recorded calls that were played right before the state ended its direct examination. There is a difference in the tone and pace of the first call and the second call, right? And I'm talking about the 911 call with conversation between Mr. Palmer and dispatch, and the recorded call where Jordan is talking to his mom.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Is there a difference between Mr. Palmer's tone and pace in those two calls?
Yes.
In the first call, his speech is fast and pressured, right?
It seems more fast, yes.
It's faster than his tone is in the second call.
Yes.
In the first call, Mr. Palmer uses swear words, right?
Yes.
In the second call, he speaks pretty slowly, right?
Correct.
In the second call, he isn't using any swear words.
Correct.
That first call was taken immediately after this incident, right?
Yes.
The second call was 4 days later, right?
Yes.
That call was made when Mr. Palmer had already been arrested and charged with deliberate homicide, right?
Yes.
He was probably in a position on that day where he was questioning everything, right?
Objection, speculation, that's
Sustained.
And during that second call, he was talking to his mom, right?
Yes.
His mom, who was really worried about him, correct?
Objection, lack of personal knowledge.
I have to sustain Ms. Brasovsky.
So there's a difference in tone between when he is in an excited state or stressed out right after this incident to when he's talking to his mom. afterwards, later, right?
Yes.
Now, Detective Cervantes, I also want to talk to you a little bit about what your experience has been brandishing firearms. You testified on direct that there have been times in your capacity as a police officer where you've brandished a firearm, right?
Yes.
And Detective Cervantes, when you brandish a firearm, you have to be prepared to use it, right?
Yes.
If someone came at you and tried to take that firearm, you would have to discharge it, wouldn't you?
If someone came at me, what was the question again?
If somebody tried to take the firearm from you, you might have to use lethal force.
I might have to, yes.
And if you had to start firing your gun, you would stop when the threat stopped, right?
Yes.
That's how law enforcement is trained, to shoot until the threat is over, correct?
Yes.
Now, Detective Cervantes, I just wanted to bring back out Defense Exhibit A, which is a map, so we can help orient the jury to how everything went on, okay?
Okay.
So the Defense Exhibit A is right behind you, and my co-counsel, Bridget Carneal, is coming up to move the exhibit.
All right, we're going to slip at a break right now because the parties have convened in Washington, and we're getting ready to see what the jury wants. We've stopped the deliberation clock. They have a question. It's their second. Stay with us.
since we on break with Court TV on both feeds, I get to talk to y'all, and I can be on camera in both rooms while everybody's waiting, right? Yeah. Right? They on break. We gonna see if what the jury has a question about, right?
Welcome back to Court TV Live along with Julia Janae and Ted Rollins. Right now, we are heading to Washington because it's day 3 of deliberations in the case against the Alis, and they have a question. This is their second question. Let's head to the courtroom, the judge on the bench.
We are present on cases 24-1-130234 and 24-1-132534, State versus Ali. Ms. Stone and Ms. Zoe are present on behalf of the state. Mr. Kading is present representing Mr. Ali, who is present. Mr. Leary is present representing Mrs. Ali, who is present. We have a question from the jury. As it applies to instruction number 46, element 2, does the violation of a temporary protection against a person or property therein? My proposed answer, please refer to and reread the jury instructions. Ms. Stone?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Kading?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Larry? All right. There were 2 sheets together and it was empty. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we will be in recess. Thank you.
All rise, court's in recess.
All right, that question there, we're going to read it again because we did have to drop that sound because of the minor name that was included. We can only say the first name of the boyfriend in this case, but the question from this jury is, does that protection order, the order of protection, temporary protection order that was in place against mom, we know that from the testimony in this trial, does a violation apply to the boyfriend, his person, or to something broader, the person or places or property, perhaps the building is what they are asking about.
Because this bus stop was near the school.
Right.
Which
was on school property, it seemed, because we had the officer in the body camera footage when he's basically interviewing mom. He said, you know, you're not supposed to be here in violation of the temporary protection order. We told you about that. So that would seem to be more property, but the jurors want to know if it had to do with just the boyfriend. Let's bring in our guest who's standing by this hour to help us analyze this in Los Angeles, California. We have trial attorney Miguel Custodio. Miguel, good to see you. Tell us about what you think about this question. I mean, this is count 5 for mom. If jurors are going through one by one, are we getting close to the end here?
It seems like we are getting close because
Can y'all hear me now? Okay. It's because I didn't pause. I didn't mute the courtroom feed. Sorry, guys. So what's going on now? So I'm gonna read. I tell This stuff is oh, they trying to take me there. They trying to take me there, OnlyFans. We trying to get through this stuff. I know you gotta get your nap in. They asking all these ridiculous questions. We trying to watch another trial. Well, I didn't know if y'all wanted to I was gonna do one room, but some people like to watch the testimony, the replay of the testimony. So I'm good with that. It's just that I can't talk to y'all much individually. I have to talk to y'all all together, right? So I mean, Court TV, they don't have any more information in regards to the Ali trial. I just wanted to kind of update y'all on that. In regards to my Jordan Palmer, in regards to the mailman activity, y'all know they sitting up there now. They talking about this juror question. So we do have TiVo time on that. So I am going to rewind the testimony for you guys. In the Ali trial, I am going to go back to the testimony that y'all were already looking at in regards to that, okay? Everybody cool? And if we see anything else, then I will definitely bring everything to everyone. And we'll kind of go from there. We gonna fake it. Fake it until we make it. I know. We're gonna look at this. I know they like you to do all this stuff. You got to open up different windows and different browsers. And I tried that, and it wouldn't pull my courtroom feed in. And I'm like, well, I'd rather not talk and listen to the court than anything. I know. Drinks on you, Moki. Got to make this go real easy. Just dance. Just dance. That's what I need to do. Just dance. Just dance. Hey, y'all know I like the chair dance. I'm the best chair dancer in the whole USA. Hey. I'm just looking at this screen to see what we got going on here. All right, guys. I am about to put everybody back into their respective places. Ali, if we hear anything else, we will definitely let you know. All right. I got this. I got this. I'm gonna get good at this stuff here.
The camera's kind of like will stay on for the entire shift as long as the bus is continuously running.
measurement of other holes on the garment.
And states 251.
Same, another measurement of another hole.
And why did you feel it was necessary to photograph and measure the holes in the sweatshirt and t-shirt?
Potentially for if someone is looking at the photos or an expert that can testify if the holes were caused by either a bullet or it could have been from something else.
Go back to have you look again at State's Exhibit 134. So after photographing these items, were they placed back into the same bag with the pants?
They were not. The keys, the lighters, the wallet, and the knife and the belt were bagged separately from the pants.
And why is that?
I kept those all together. I did not feel the items were of any evidentiary value, so they were all placed into one bag.
Given that this was an incident involving one known weapon and violence, why didn't you think it was necessary to store the knife in the same manner you would other evidence?
The way it was located on scene when I first photographed it, it was in a closed position and it was put away. And there was no indication, anything else as far as the 911 call or officers or any statements made prior to me getting on scene that a knife was used during the event.
And are all of these items from these photographs, are they still stored in the Belgrade evidence?
They are not.
Which ones are no longer stored in evidence?
The belt, the keys, and the carabiner containing the keys, the two lighters, the wallet, and the knife are no longer in the custody of the Belgrade Police Department.
Okay, and why is that?
All those items were released to Mr. Campbell's father and next to kin.
Okay, and I guess under what circumstances do you make a decision to release items versus store them as evidence?
If I determine there's no evidentiary value of it, and generally if it's a personal item of a victim's, it is not uncommon for me to release those items to a family member.
And when you released those items, did you document the fact that they had been released?
I did.
And so you just mentioned the 911 call. In this case, did you listen to the 911 call?
I did.
And in fact, do you know how many 911 calls there were?
I believe there was an original 911 call made by Mr. Palmer to dispatch, and that call disconnected. Dispatch called the phone number back, and Mr. Palmer answered. And so as far as I'm aware, I believe there was two 911 calls that were, or one 911 call that was made, and then a return phone call from dispatch to Mr. Palmer.
Okay. Do you know if there were any other 911 calls that came in from other individuals?
There was according to the records, the call records, there was a phone call that was made by Miss Meshik, I believe is her name, is one of the Mr. Campbell's neighbors.
David Gilman, this case is all going to come down to the defendant and the jury. All of this, the openings, they go out the window as soon as the defendant takes the stand. In any case, if a defendant takes the stand, and we're anticipating that because at the end of the day, he has to convince the jury that for him, he was fearful of great bodily harm or even death. And to do that, you have to sort of relive it and tell the story and hook people. How important is his testimony going to be?
It's going to be everything. It's so crucial to his defense. I mean, frankly, you can just skip to everything and just have him testify, frankly, and you can just streamline this whole thing, in my opinion, because that's all the jury cares about. It's not about who done it. We all know who did it. It was the defendant. Why did he do it? And he's going to have to show everybody in that juror, all 12 jurors, because he was scared. He thought that the victim, in this case, was going to hurt him, either physically, with a gun, a knife, whatever it may be, or some other type of object, and that the only way that he could protect himself is by shooting the victim. And it's going to come down to that. Was it true or not? I can't answer that. None of us can answer that. But he better, get his acting shoes on, if you will, and he better be prepared for it, because the defense and the prosecution, they are going to cross-examine him, and they are going to do a very, very good job. I could see the preparation by the prosecutors, and I'm very impressed with it, because this Detective Cervantes, he seems like he knows his stuff. And why does he know it? Because he was prepared. He was prepped by the prosecution. When I was a prosecutor, this was always a crucial part, the backbone of your investigation and your trial. You get all your detectives, all your witnesses to come into the
And so that would have been the call that was determined to come from Mr. Palmer's phone to 911.
Yes.
And you're going to move to now admit Exhibit 253, which will, for clarification purposes, is technically a 911 callback to Mr. Palmer's phone.
Any objection, Ms. Wasowski?
I have no objection.
Exhibit 253 is admitted and may be published, played in its entirety to the jury.
No, mental. And without mental. Is the right mental? Yes, sir. Okay. And what's the longer contract? 406, chapter 9, 41, 47. Yeah. 2 months. That's something that's good happen, George. I saw a email floating down the road, and I put the address, and I went and put back in the mailbox, and you can find me on the road saying that I can't enter other people's automobiles, and I told them I didn't enter other people's automobiles, and you're gonna get fucked up, and it just took away a cigarette and started swinging at me, and I put a few rounds into it, and now he's laying on the ground. So when you said you put 2 rounds, then you said you shot it? Yes. Okay, and did it happen from the nothing to example? Yes. Okay, did they use that for? Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. We got lots of people that way if you wait. No, is he breathing? He was, but he's not anymore. Okay, then lots of people have it that way. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. Yeah. You can hear breathing? Yeah, this is very sudden, dramatic. Okay, you did it. Put the phone right next to him so I can listen to him, okay? Okay, that's what's up. Can you hear me, sir? Yes. Okay, that sounds like acting on breathing. If there's a video available, send someone to give it now and tell me when you have it, okay? Okay, listen carefully. Can you hear me, sir? Yes. Are you right about now? Yes. Okay, listen carefully. Lay flat on his back on the ground there and move anything under the tent. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Listen carefully and tell me, and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions. Just make sure you flat on his back on the ground. So you move your hand on the ground from in the center of the chest, right between the nipples. You put your fucking asshole or just at me. Okay? So just to confirm, you don't want to do CPR, is that correct, sir? That's probably going to go get my fucking, I'm not really sure what you're getting at, sir. I apologize. Yeah. Do you want me to continue with CPR instructions, sir? Might as well, I guess. Very right. This is a point to heal in your hand. And how can you make last just until they get out of the car? Okay, just gonna tell you everything. And place the other hand on top of that hand, okay? And I want you to pump the chest hard and fast as we talk for something and do what you're seeing.
Detective Cervantes, does that sound the same as the other times you've listened to the 911 call?
Yes.
And it's clear that there are parts of that 911 call that are kind of difficult to hear exactly what's being said, a little muffled.
Yes.
At any point in time, was there any reference to a knife?
There was never a reference to a knife.
And how did Mr. Palmer describe the manner in which Mr. Campbell attacked him?
Through the 911 call?
Yeah.
That he was, came at him aggressively, or that he attacked him swinging.
Swinging. One moment. Detective Cervantes, did you also obtain a recorded call between Mr. Palmer and his mother?
I did.
And prior to your testimony today, have you had the chance to listen to that call again?
Yes.
Okay. And does it accurately depict the the version of the call that you originally obtained that was recorded.
Yes.
I'd like to play just a short portion of that from, just for the record, that's going to be from 5:29 to 6:12, and it would be State's Exhibit 254 that I'd be moving to admit, Your Honor.
Ms. Rosowski,
I know that, Your Honor.
Exhibit 254 is admitted, may be played as designated by Ms. Foley to the jury.
Were you scared? Were you scared? Is that why you did all this stuff? Kind of, yeah, I was definitely intimidated. Because she's prepared for your life, you're pretty very aggressive and, I wasn't thinking that I was, don't say anything, hon. It's okay, don't say anything.
And Detective Cervantes, does that reflect a portion of the recorded call that you obtained?
Yes.
And going back to the Vivint cam, which is like the ring cam that you previously discussed, and you had sent that off to in an effort to try to enhance the quality you justified to.
Yes.
And so once that was done, did that essentially kind of create two versions of it, the unenhanced version and the enhanced version?
Yes.
Okay. One moment. Well, thank you for all of your time, Detective Cervantes. I do not have.
We have some breaking news. We're being told that there is a question in Washington.
Begins her cross-examination. Ms. Rafferty had told me that you were curious about what happened with your fellow juror, Mr. Schroeder. I excused Mr. Schroeder because there was a family medical emergency out of state. And so I excused him so he could travel back to Wisconsin to be with his father. So we now have 12 jurors and one alternate for the rest of the trial. Ms. Brasovsky, you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Good morning, Detective Cervantes.
Good morning.
I would just start with talking to you about the two recorded calls that were played right before the state ended its direct examination. There is a difference in the tone and pace of the first call and the second call, right? And I'm talking about the 911 call with a conversation between Mr. Palmer and dispatch and the recorded call where Jordan is talking to his mom.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Is there a difference between Mr. Palmer's tone and pace in those two calls?
Yes.
In the first call, his speech is fast and pressured, right?
It seems more fast, yes.
It's faster than his tone is in the second call.
Yes.
In the first call, Mr. Palmer uses swear words, right?
Yes.
In the second call, he speaks pretty slowly, right?
Correct.
In the second call, he isn't using any swear words.
Correct.
That first call was taken immediately after this incident, right?
Yes.
The second call was 4 days later, right?
Yes.
That call was made when Mr. Palmer had already been arrested and charged with deliberate homicide, right?
Yes.
He was probably in a position on that day where he was questioning everything, right?
Sustained.
And during that second call, he was talking to his mom, right?
Yes.
His mom, who was really worried about him, correct?
Objection, lack of personal knowledge.
I have to sustain Mr. Sossi.
So there's a difference in tone between when he is in an excited state or stressed out right after this incident to when he's talking to his mom afterwards, later, right?
Yes.
Now, Detective Cervantes, I also want to talk to you a little bit about what your experience has been brandishing firearms. You testified on direct that there have been times in your capacity as a police officer where you've brandished a firearm, right?
Yes.
And Detective Cervantes, when you brandish a firearm, you have to be prepared to use it, right?
Yes.
If someone came at you and tried to take that firearm, you would have to discharge it, wouldn't you?
If someone came at me, what was the question again?
If somebody tried to take the firearm from you, you might have to use lethal force.
I might have to, yes.
And if you had to start firing your gun, you would stop when the threat stopped, right?
Yes.
That's how law enforcement is trained, to shoot until the threat is over, correct?
Yes.
Now, Detective Cervantes, I just wanted to bring back out Defense Exhibit A, which is a map, so we can help orient the jury to how everything went on, okay?
Okay.
So Defense Exhibit A is right behind you. My co-counsel, Bridget Carneal, is coming up to move the exhibit.
All right, we're going to slip in a break right now because the parties have convened in Washington, and we're getting ready to see what the jury wants. We've stopped the deliberation clock. They have a question. It's their second. Stay with us.
Let's go in.
And Your Honor, if I may approach to hand the witness the marker.
You may.
Let the record reflect that I just handed Detective Cervantes the Sharpie marker. Detective Cervantes, can you point to where Mr. Campbell's residence is in this image?
No.
Do you recognize this as an aerial view of the 804 Mantle Drive area?
It appears that it is that area.
So on the right side of the street would be 803 Mantle, where Stephen Campbell lives, right?
On the right side?
I'm sorry, I misspoke there. So the left side of the street is 803 Mantle, where Stephen lives, correct?
Yes.
So could you,
Unless he was representing the fact that it was not 803.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I just misspoke there. So the left,
Excuse me, Mr. I have to make the record. What was your objection?
Misrepresenting the facts and evidence as to the number of houses.
All right, and Mr. Softy, what's your response?
and I did misspeak there, my apologies.
All right, so I'll sustain the objection. You need to fix the record to make sure you have the correct number, all right, Mr. Sossi?
Detective Cervantes, Mr. Campbell lived in 807, in the 807-808 Mantle apartment complex, right?
The 807 apartment complex, yes.
And that was on the left side of this picture, right? You can barely see it, but it's you can see the driveway to it, right?
Yes.
Can you mark the edge of the picture where Mr. Campbell's house would be?
It would be in this area.
And then could you just write SC1 where Mr. Campbell's house is? And Detective Cervantes, could you write that in a little bit larger lettering so the jury can see it? I'm sorry. Let the record reflect that Detective Cervantes has marked the left side of the picture with the labeling SC1 to denote where Stephen Campbell's residence was.
Record so reflects.
And Detective Cervantes, do you remember where Stephen Campbell's clothes were located on that scene?
I believe they were in the general area. They were in the driveway of 808 Mantle Drive.
And his clothes show where his body would have been found, correct?
Correct.
Or where he was laying down on the scene when officers arrived.
Correct.
Detective Cervantes, can you denote that location with SC2? Let the record reflect that Detective Cervantes has now written an SC2 on the driveway on the opposite side of Defense Demonstrative A, a map. So Detective Cervantes, what that means is that Stephen Campbell went from the left side of this image, or the left side of the street shown here, to the right side of the street, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to draw an arrow showing the way that Mr. Campbell moved, okay? An arrow from SC1 to SC2.
I don't know if the exact direction Mr. Campbell moved that night. I don't have any personal knowledge of the way he moved.
But you can testify that he started off in the SC1 area and he ended up in the SC2 area, right?
Yes.
So he went from the left side of this picture to the right side of this picture.
Yes.
And he went across the entire street, right?
Yes.
And you can see from the little measurement at the bottom of the image that the street is about 10 meters wide or a little wider than that, right?
Yeah, that's what the image shows. Yes.
So that's the distance that Stephen Campbell traveled. Roughly that, or even farther than that. And Detective Cervantes, do you remember from the video that you reviewed where Jordan Palmer was before Stephen Campbell came into view?
He was near the mailbox.
And I'm going to ask if you could write a JP in roughly the location that you remember him being. So Stephen Campbell ended up in the location where, or around the area that Jordan Palmer was initially, right?
Yes.
And he started off farther away from that. And that would suggest that Stephen Campbell moved towards Mr. Palmer instead of the other way around, right?
With the video, it was appeared different in the video. They had confronted each other in the street.
But you see that he goes from the left side of this image
Yes.
to the right side. Now, Detective Cervantes, I'm going to show you again State's Exhibit 108. And this image is a little bit blurry, but in this picture, can you point out for me, and I'm going to ask if you can leave the bench in order to do this, if you can point out for me where the clothes of Stephen Campbell are located in this picture.
Does Foley have any objection if the detective approaches the street? No. You may, detective.
And Detective, if you want to use this pen to point, you can do that.
The clothes are right here.
And you may return to the stand now. So in this image, you can see that the clothes are several feet away from that mailbox, right?
Yes.
Thank you. And Detective Cervantes, I know we've already been through a lot of photos today, so I'm not going to have us go back through most of the state's exhibits, but I just want to focus on a couple that are relevant, okay? This is State's Exhibit 157. And this shows the magazine of the gun, right, Detective Cervantes?
Yes.
And you can see in this picture that there are 8 rounds still left in that magazine, correct?
Correct.
And what that means, right, is that Jordan Palmer did not empty his clip, correct?
Correct.
He stopped firing before he ran out of ammo, right?
Correct.
And I also want to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 101. And this exhibit shows a picture of a freshly burnt cigarette, correct?
Correct.
And you labeled it with tint marker 15, right?
Yes.
Do you remember, and I'll show you State's Exhibit 103 to help with this. And I'm going to ask again if Detective Cervantes can leave the witness stand in order to point to the exhibit.
Ms. Foley, you have any objection?
No objection.
Objected to me.
Detective Cervantes, I'm going to ask